Okay, so today we're going to do a little review on the JDM Shimano SLXDC. It is the 70XG series. And it's got a gear ratio of 8.2. Now, the Shimano SLXDC is a pretty simple, straightforward, no fuss, no muss design. I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm going to give you my simple take on this rail. If you are fishing with a lipless crankbait or a spinner, you are probably going to want to set the magnetic brakes to 4, maybe 3, and then you're going to allow the weight of the lure to take over. If you are in windy conditions, or you're fishing from the bank and you have limited amount of space to cast, again, you're probably going to want to set the braking system to 3, maybe 4. Now, if you are Texas rigging a rubber worm and you are in windy conditions, again, you probably want to set the magnetic brakes to 3, maybe 4, thus preventing backlash, bird nesting, all that nonsense. Now, however, if you've got perfect conditions, no wind, no rain, you can dial this down to 2 or 1 for that Texas rigged rubber worm, and you can get a very respectable casting distance. Hell, with this Shimano SLX, I have increased my casting distance by, I don't know, 50%. So if my casting distance on a Texas rigged rubber worm, let's say argument's sakes, was 30 feet, with the Shimano SLX I am now getting 60 feet. And well, that greater distance is going to increase the time in the water, right? Makes sense? That greater casting distance is going to allow you to get into spots that a lot of your other bait casting rails just will not do. So, the Shimano SLX DC, I'm going to give this rail the highest appraisal ratings I can think of. If I put this on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 10 all day long. Very simplistic, very easy to use. In comparisons to other rails, listen, the Shimano SLX DC, by far one of the best for your money rails. Okay, so like I was saying, high winds, and you want to fish whether it's a spinner, a lipless crankbait, or a Texas rigged rubber worm, you want to set that to 4. Under clear skies with no wind conditions, and you want to fish this spinner, you want to fish this crankbait, I'm going to set that to 3. For a Texas rigged rubber worm in windy conditions, I'm going to set that braking system to 2 with nice calm conditions of no wind. I'm going straight down to 1. Now, just like any other rail, there are going to be a few learning curves, a few setbacks. So I'm going to recommend you set this thing up. When you set this thing up, set it to 4. You don't have to worry about adjusting that spool tension knob. That's not really a factor for the Shimano SLX DC. And you know what? You're going to find that this rail is going to be such an improvement over all other rails that you will not regret paying the extra money, stepping up to the plate and dropping $150, $180 for this rail. Just in 2 days of use, I've increased my casting distance and I've decreased the number of times I've backlashed, bird's nest, and all in all out wanted to throw the thing in the dumpster. Okay? So this rail, absolute game changer. Okay? Take my word for it. Shimano SLX DC 70 XG. Okay? Absolutely. I'm in love with it, okay? I want to it's an absolutely phenomenal rail. I've got stacks of other rails. And this rail, with very little time on the water, I feel like I've got it dialed in. It's all figured out. And I'm telling you, whether it's the American model or, in my case, the Japanese model, you cannot go wrong with spending the money in buying one of these. I mean, I don't like to say, oh, buy this, buy that. I mean, I don't want to be like, I don't want to come across sounding like I'm promoting Shimano. I am, however, in this case, promoting Shimano. Okay? Nope. They're not paying me to say this. Okay? I'm saying this because I've tested it. I think it's worth the $150, the $180, the $200. Okay? So take it for what it's worth. That's the Shimano SLX-DC Japanese model 70XG gear ratio 8.2. Okay, until the next time.